The transcendental way of connecting to our subconscious is a way to the soul, for the lack of a better way to describe it. Of course, there are many other positive factors that aid in this process. It's not one pill serves all solution, but it is certainly a hell of a start. Once we establish this baseline with this new experience of ourselves, life's drama, events don't have the impact that they would normally have. It doesn't mean that they're not capable of carrying a wicked punch. It just means you don't fall down and get damaged. Sort of like getting a skin knee that later gets infected. Tethering ourselves to our souls is like a ship tethering to an anchor in stormy winds. I call the soul the navigator because it's the part of us that keeps us from getting lost from our destination that we've already chosen. It's one of those pre-birth decisions. We've all made, knowingly or unknowingly. With this conscious practice, there is yet another textbook clarification of development we can talk about, and that is this new discovered sense of self-worth continues to mature. We become more comfortable and trusting with our navigator on the bridge, so to say. It's this newly acquired level of security and trust that sets the stage for a better and more coherent relationship we have with our soul. And the infinite ways that this can play itself out in the world is nothing but a positive one. 9 out of 10, this extends to other souls that we're all connected to. I've observed this family structure. It extends beyond the family tree in real time. Generally speaking, souls evolve in a family group, not so much as an individual. Despite how bad these relationships can be perceived in the physical world, there lies a purpose and coordination from the perspective of our souls. Sometimes the story needs a villain, and sometimes the soul is volunteered or is assigned to play the role. The caution I'll throw into the wind is that be careful about judging others that negatively impacts your life. In most cases, it's not as bad as it seems or looks. That is a very tricky monster to wrestle with, in which there is no written rule book on the codes of conduct here. If you believe in the code of honor, and that's what you practice in your life, that is certainly part of this trusted script. And at the end of the day, if you are feeling guilty in the role that you've played, well, now you can have a choice of revalidating your paradigm and making a course correction. Honesty is the key here. Honesty to yourself and to others is the big one. And it's well worth the effort. I have found and observed embracing honesty is never a waste of time. Understanding the mind, well, it's a long life process. And starting at the ground level, control, will, mind, is a type of a trio. A combo, a Big Mac. Understanding these elements of control, meditation is an extremely beneficial tool because it provides you analytical perspective that most people don't have. The nature of the mind naturally wants to hold on to control. It's just part of its nature. And this is a bit of a problem for some people, more than others. The very nature of transcending, well, it's similar to letting go, and there's some control to that, to some degree. And that can be challenging when it's an unfamiliar experience. It's a lot like learning how to swim, actually. Only when you get comfortable with the experience of the water, you can have that moment where you let go and just float. When you realize you don't have to work so hard to float, floating is sort of natural for a body that's made with water. So it just takes a little getting used to. We all know swimming is a good thing, right? It's even enjoyable. It's amazing to see that something that starts out with a struggle ends up to be enjoyable. So much similarity here. Letting go means, well, it means we get our heads out of the game. We don't want our heads in the game when to meditate successfully. It's about trusting yourself. It's the game we're talking about. It's amazing what we can accomplish by trusting our navigator. Like I said earlier, we only here for the ride, and if we're starting to suffer, that's a sure sign rough air is ahead. So we need to make a little power adjustment and a small course correction with our current paradigm. Bottom line is our soul is the true navigator, co-pilot, the designated driver, the mentor. A whisper of caution, hey, I'm just trying to hit the nail on the head here for everybody. The knowledge comes from this chapter, knowing yourself as the source of love and knowledge. You know, take it out of the page. And not just the recipient of love and knowledge, as the world would teach us. There is one more textbook level of development that is good to know before I close this subject, and it's a big one. Not for the faint of heart, as they would say. The relationship we want with our soul is very real. This means we cannot pretend or avoid. And you certainly can't fake it. There is no hiding what you're feeling. And this really makes some people uncomfortable, to say the least. No secrets, no misunderstandings, no pretending, no finding fault. Well, that may be too transparent for some folks. That's why we start out with baby steps. A soul in this boat may want to select external relationships as a prerequisite before tackling the big internal one. I don't know. Whatever the situation, everybody has the final decision on that one. Yes, indeed. I have discovered honesty comes in many flavors, crystal clear honesty as well. It's incredible rare. It's like finding a perfect diamond or a gold nugget in the riverbed, you know. It's one of those fine things in life that is well worth practice. See, you cannot be totally honest with yourself until you can be honest with others. No matter what you tell yourself. Most of us have been taught to sugarcoat the truth at day one. The question we must ask ourselves here is, are we finally ready for such a transparent relationship? The inconvenient truth is that our external life mirrors our internal one 99.9% of the time, and vice versa. Make no mistake about it. As long as we live separate and divided, cut off from our soul, our eternal relationship will always remain, remain in the sunset. Every minute spent, every ounce of effort in developing this relationship with ourselves is purely prosperity. It sort of gives the word investment a new meaning here. Well, I don't want to make these videos too long, so this is a good time to break. My next video will be on meditation, 3 and what it really means in today, as today, for today. Until then, I'll see you guys later.